It's essential to plan every UK dive because our coastal waters are affected by tides and weather in a way that may be different to other countries. The conditions change every day, and so more planning is needed. When planning our dive, there are a number of factors that we need to take into consideration. We need to think about the tides, the strength and the direction of the tide, but also we need to think about whether it's high tide or low tide. We need to consider the wind speed and direction. Is the wind coming off the land or off the sea? The wind and the tide can act together, so if they're going in opposite directions, we can get much rougher conditions than would otherwise be the case. This can affect our entry and exit points. We need to make sure it's safe to get in, but more importantly, that it's safe to get out. As the tide comes in and out, it can create strong underwater currents. Rough conditions with wind against tide can lead to the situation where a diver becomes lost. There are a number of conditions on the day which may cause us to abandon the dive. The weather conditions or the forecast weather conditions may mean it's not safe to enter or, more importantly, exit the water. When we're planning our dives, there are a number of resources that we can use. We can use local tide tables which will tell us the time of high and low water and will help us to calculate the time of slack water. We can also use charts which will identify the conditions in which we'll be diving, as well as helping us to identify the direction of current. Weather forecasts can give us information about wind speed and direction. These can be broadcast weather forecasts or electronic forecasts available on our PC or phone. Finally, we can use local information from local divers or local dive shops in aiding our planning. Also, your own personal physical condition may affect your decision as to whether or not to dive. If you don't feel good because of general health conditions, seasickness, fatigue, or any other reason, then it's not worth the risk. Never be afraid to say no and call the dive. UK diving is fantastic, but we do sometimes get poor visibility. For this reason, it's best to dive in a team of 2. You can dive as a 3, but it introduces additional risks and requires additional skills. It's important that divers are logged in and out of the water. This is to ensure that no divers are left out at sea and all divers are safely logged back in within their allocated time. If you're diving from a boat, always inform the Coast Guard of your dive plan, and always inform the Coast Guard when you've finished your diving operations. If you're shore diving, inform a friend, relative, or a local dive centre of the plan. Make sure you tell them where you're diving, who you're diving with, and when you're going to be back. Most importantly, tell them what to do if you don't come back on time.